Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About Lego this fine Monday afternoon, evening, night, early morning in Europe. People on here doing that.
Depending on where you're at.
Depending on where you're at. So, welcome back. And this is part 2 of our 3-part series about water-based city themes, sub-themes. So,
Yep.
What did we talk about last week?
Divers.
Yes. So we did the sub-theme city divers. Now we're jumping into the ports and the Nautica theme.
Yeah, I was really surprised to know that a lot of people don't know this as called Nautica.
Yeah. Well, so it is a small sub-theme of city. However, and I think also that Lego didn't market it very well. Like, they didn't put that logo on very many things. They put it on a box and maybe like in a couple magazines, I think. But
yeah,
and it wasn't I don't think was it 91 and 92, right?
Yeah.
So it didn't last it didn't have multiple waves, or it didn't last super long. So maybe that's part of the reason why.
Well, it was part of town, and once you have it, you don't need. As we all know, we don't need 80 police stations, yet they get a new one every year. They kind of did the Seaport and it was done and over, and they kind of moved on, I think.
Sure.
But we do have a few comments.
Okay.
Of course, Retro was in here posting a comment. He said, I have my folks, grandparents, uncles, and aunties club together get me 6541, 6542 for Christmas. Unfortunately, during my dark age, my mom gave it all away, but somehow the base plates remain. And he's talking about the 2 big Seaport sets, which are, in this Nautica theme. He also pledged up $2 and said, dude, so many amazing memories from this theme. I agree.
Thank you, Retro Space Coats, becoming a return supporter of the channel. We appreciate that, my friend.
Minifig Collector is in here. Jose is in here.
Hey now.
And he's talking about the new CMF teaser.
I
guess what we need to do is we need to get this out of the way.
Yeah, so there's images that leaked, or a teaser from somewhere that leaked, and this is the first time in the history of Lego that they have, besides Friends, which doesn't count because mini dolls are not minifigures. This is the first time that they have decided to create a series of minifigs in flesh tone colors as opposed to the standard classic yellow Lego minifigs. Mm-hmm. Though like Jose said, it does come with more detail potentially. I think we're going to lose a big chunk of your audience switching over because flesh tones have only been for licensed products, and they work perfectly well for that because there's, characters and real life humans they have to represent. So they had to get into some of the different ethnicities of different people in the movies and different things like that. Lego, yellow, classic minifigs, across the board have represented everybody in history. You can argue that till the cows come home. I don't care which way you stand with it. That being said, Lego, classic Lego is yellow minifigs, and all in-house themes were done, except Friends, which doesn't count. It's not minifigs. We're done in yellow, and all the CMFs up until now were done in yellow as well. So as a non-fleshy fan, that's not interesting to me at all. It actually, I'm not sure I'm that interested in anything coming out in the CMF line if that's the way they're going to go, and it could bleed into all of their Lego sets eventually. So I don't know, man. What do you think?
I feel like maybe it's a test, and it's going to fail because there's so many minifig collectors out there, and I myself try to collect all of the minifigs that that I like. I don't collect every single one because I'm just not that person. But they start adding these flesh tones, and then I don't think that that's helping inclusion. Okay, all it's going to do is create more diversity.
Sure. Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like if they're all just yellow,
right, then you can project yourself onto the yellow minifig. It doesn't matter where you're from.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you look like. You can put a hairpiece on. You can add a beard. You can take a beard off. You can take the hair off. You can switch it around, and that's you or who you feel is represented in Lego. I think
they're going to lose sales if they do that.
I don't know, man. Yeah, like this is pretty interesting news. It doesn't seem like it's being talked that much about in the community yet. I think if it does shift into sets, like Lego City starts doing it or something like that, I think it will affect them pretty heavily.
It's going to create more of a problem than a solution.
And again, like, I don't care either way, right? I mean, represent whoever you want, however you want. I love all of the Native American sets. I love all of the Islanders and South Pacific Islanders sets and all of the different cultures. I want more of that, but I think it comes at a cost if you start.
They're all fine in yellow.
Shade them in different skin tones, and then okay, well then are you going to do every single one? Like, right? Like, I don't know exactly how. There's too many different types of people to include every single one in Lego. I just don't see how that's possible. And then it's like Lego doesn't have to represent every single type of person that's ever existed. You know, like in my estimation, I don't know that it does, because I think kids, that again, it's taking the imagination and the creativity out of a toy that was a very basic representation of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's saying, this is how you need to play. You need to make sure that you have this type of person in your play and that type of person in your play, and make sure that these people are here and those people are there, and this looks a certain way. And if you're not doing those things, then you're not adhering to how we want you to use our toys. That's kind of how I see it. Whereas like before, it was all universal across the board. You could just break it down and have a play however you wanted and represent whoever you wanted in those old classic Lego sets, which we talk about all the time. So yeah, man, I mean, I don't know, man. It's an aesthetic thing for me. It's like Lego is the little yellow minifigs running around. The world's populated.
The last thing I want to do is change heads and hands on minifigs.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know.
So from Brick Monarch and the Brick Stop, we are basically agreeing that the yellow just needs to stay and everybody needs to be yellow. And
everybody's
just call it a day.
Yellow.
Right. Because who the hell is going to change out their city with flesh towns?
Well, and that is a question. I mean, some people do it because some people really do prefer it. And I don't care. Again, like, I don't care. If that's a preference, do it. I see people do that all the time.
Sure.
But that's an aesthetic preference, right? Like, I don't think it looks good. I think it looks weird. It's like these little plastic people are now looking like they're made of flesh, which is creepy. So like,
it is weird.
Right. So like when I see a Wild West setup or a castle setup with all the flesh tone minifigs in it, I'm like, that's strange to me. It doesn't represent Lego as what I, grew up with, I guess, and what I like to represent things in Lego in the classic minifig style. So that being said, here's the thing. Like, if they decide to go that way, yeah, it's going to drop major appeal for sets that go that direction. It doesn't take away from what's already been done. And we have hundreds of thousands of millions of yellow Lego minifigs. So, but yeah, dude, if I don't want to be switching heads and hands. So
no, not me.
Anyway, I don't know. Let us know in the chat. Feel free to message us too. If you think we're totally off the rocker with this one, message me and let me know. Convince me otherwise.
Go ahead and message me and I will politely tell you to go kick rocks.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, and I have a lot of friends. Jordan Perry, who is on Lego Masters Season 4, he's in our boat. Like, he is adamantly against flesh tone minifigs.
Yeah, I mean, just look at this. Look at this lovely sea captain.
Yeah.
There's something iconic about that little man right there.
I would prefer that Lego would change every single minifig they produce from 2024 and on as a yellow smiley face head, every single one, than to go flesh tone.
Yeah, agreed.
Don't care. I would prefer, because that's what they were originally. For what?
For everyone.
It was just the little smiley guy.
For all minifigs.
All right, let's see. Are we getting roasted in the comments, or we got people on our side?
No, we're not getting roasted. We got let's see, alternate candidate. just really dislike skin tone.
Sure.
Lego Den, yellow versus flesh.
Yeah, it's
Yellow
a
for
real
life.
thing.
Yeah, I mean, people it's a 50-50 shot, man. I mean,
Sure.
I think the CMF sales will drop if they start doing that.
I think I guess this is what comes down to, I think, really is current or new Lego fans, the COVID crew, we call them.
Oh, I hate those guys.
People who jumped in, not returning people from the dark ages. We're talking about brand new fans of Lego who don't really have the foundation or the roots they grew up with. They're just new fans of Lego, and maybe the younger generation, right? People who are maybe teens who are fans of Lego, or our kids who've grown up and they don't know what's come before necessarily. Those people probably wouldn't mind. They're just most of them collect Star Wars and Marvel anyway, and that's all flesh tone. So it's like, oh, now all of my other Lego city sets will fit with my Marvel and Star Wars sets. Yay! So there's going to be a big chunk of people who are going to be fine or not even care. They're just not going to think about it. But all of us people on the other side who have been the bread and butter of Lego's economy for the last 35 years, 40 years are going to be like, what the heck's going on? I think. And we'll probably withdraw some of the money and stop buying some of the products, which is how anything goes. So again, this isn't happening necessarily. There's been a teaser of some CMFs that don't look licensed that are in flesh tones.
But
and that's all we have.
We have to bring our 2 cents from seeing that image.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can find the image on, it may have even been leaked by Lego. I don't know that it's a leak. It might be an official teaser. So you can go look it up. I think you just have to type in CMF 2024 or something. I don't know. I don't know. I've seen it on Instagram. So take a look at it. And again, let me know what you guys think. I'm very interested to hear your opinions.
Yeah. I mean, if you like yellow, I'm interested.
I mean, ultimately, that is where I fall too. But I'll also have a conversation about it and find out where people are coming from. So,
right.
Anyway.
Right. Anyways, let's jump into some news.
Yes.
Dude,
what do you think about this? First
impression? This is a great addition to the Winter Village.
Yeah, I mean, people tore apart the little city block, the more urban one, and I thought it was great. I didn't have anything really bad to say about it. I like that it had a trolley instead of a train or a car.
I still like that.
But I
haven't built it yet, but I have it still in the box. But this is good.
This is what I was going to say. Is comparatively, this is where my heart would be.
I love the use of the long 1x4 with the rounded top on it that was used on the castle.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. In brown to make this log cabin look.
You know what I appreciate about
great.
that? Yeah. You know what I appreciate about you saying that is the mind of a mock builder right there. When you see a piece like that on a castle and it comes out and you're like, this looks like a little round log piece, and then they go and they design something exactly like how you would have thought it should be designed with these little half logs on a cabin. Mm-hmm. I like seeing that in Lego. That really brings out, I think, more personality in the design.
It's absolutely wonderful. The fern piece is featured in this in the dark green and white, which came in the Lord of the Rings, the Rivendell set.
Yeah, it's showing up all over the place. And this little technique they use with the white for the snow is a great one. I think it looks really good, and it was used on the Viking Village, which is coming out soon.
Yep.
So that's good to see that mirrored here for sure.
Yeah, and something too, a nice little touch is the snow on the top of the rail.
When
you see snow, it actually is rounded. It actually rounds off on top of like a railing like that, it's very accurate. It's astonishing.
I like that. This is going to look great next to Santa's Visit.
Yeah,
because that house could be a house that's nestled up next to a chateau like this or something, or a cabin, because it's not necessarily a city house or a neighborhood house. You could fit it next to here and kind of have a little more rural Christmas time scene. So Yeah, man. I'm all for this one. Alpine Lodge. Yes.
I love it.
I think it's a good set.
I
think
love
it's
it. I'll be buying it. No problem. No
Yep.
questions asked. Period. They won. They won purchase for me.
Green doors too. I like those.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel
love
like those
love all the little trees. The trees are great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean a lot of nice details. Chimney's a little big and bulky, but I know they're fitting the light bricks and the big roaring fire inside, so it kind of makes sense. Next to it though, the little like lean-to with the firewood out of the snow, like those details are what makes it really fun.
Yeah. And the porta potty.
The porta potty is great. Also, the sign is really cool.
The sign is really cool. Yeah,
the lodge sign. Yeah, yeah. No, like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 for this. Yeah.
Yep. Right here, Alpine Lodge. Even without all the Christmas bits, would it work in a wooden forest setup?
Yeah, taking the ice pond away from it and the little outhouse maybe, and changing the roof out to maybe a shingle roof or something, take the snow off of it. You could put it next to the A-frame cabin and the lighthouse.
Oh yeah.
And all of those fishing shack, and have like this kind of mountainy sort of rural town feel. Yeah.
Peter Inn makes a comment. Kind of don't like the back of the cottage. Has no roof over the living room, but from the front it looks great. Okay. Yeah, I don't have the back images on this, but if you do see it, it's a little weird and feels very open.
Oh, kind of like the Weasley. Yeah, okay.
But you have to have some playability, and you got to be able to get your fat hands in there.
Sure. Sometimes when the roofs come over the whole thing, you can.
They dial it back, and what they're doing is they're bringing the back lower out further than the roof in the back.
Interesting.
So it's more of a play set looking thing from the back, but at the end of the day, who really cares, right?
We're gonna just play it.
We're gonna sit it. We're gonna sit it facing forward.
Yeah.
And for an adult fan, you're probably not gonna be playing out.
I mean, no, probably not.
Little stories, right?
But yeah, they did that with the Weasley's house in Harry Potter, where like the back really comes out. There's a big kitchen table, and the whole back of it was quite a bit further out than the main structure.
The Hobbit's house, Bilbo Baggins' house.
Did that a little bit too.
It was the same, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Little areas kind of bled out from the back a little bit, which was fine. But yeah, I mean, like, if you could get too far doing that too much, it might look funny if you have it displayed at an angle. If it can only fit that way, you can kind of see into the living room from the side or something. But then it's like build a couple trees next to it or something,
Yeah, no problem.
Put the outhouse on that side.
Also in the news, which is a day one purchase for me, is the Piranha Plant from Mario, a giant Piranha Plant.
For the Mario fans. So for me, I didn't like the Mario theme, but I did like the adult fan side of it with the big Bowser and Cube and this thing.
And the Nintendo with TV.
Yeah. So the kind of the more UCS collector pieces I thought were really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would have loved to get the cube. I know you got a hold of one.
Yep, I did.
Yeah, and then this would look great next to the cube. So
I love this thing.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I like it.
I played a lot of original Mario when I was a kid. Mario 1, 2, and 3.
Like the side scrollers.
Yeah, those were my number one game when I was playing as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I played them quite a bit as well. And then I played the one on the Game Boy. So I actually beat that one on the Game Boy, which is kind of insane because I didn't beat too many video games when I was younger.
Right.
But so it totally nostalgia there, and it's a fun build. It's quite well designed too. It's a lot of round pieces with these Lego pieces looking pretty good. So yeah.
Krager Productions.
Nautica
yes. Question mark. Yeah, man, we're going through the news.
Or Super Mario. Yeah, no, these are new releases. So sometimes we like to touch on current events in the community. So we talk about the
yeah, I mean, we have to talk about this.
We got to stay relevant
for sure.
We got to stay relevant.
Right? Yeah. All right, so let's jump into Nautica.
For sure, for sure. That's
So
why we're here, right?
the first thing that pops to mind is these wonderful catalogs.
Yes.
This is from 1991 and 1992.
Mm-hmm.
And these catalogs were phenomenal. Both showing the Seaport in detail. 91 shows the launch and load Seaport, and the 92 catalog shows the launch and load and the international. So you get both of them sitting over there in the water, and something magical about these worlds that they create with these little mini books, and what you can kind of build off of in your own imagination, which is absolutely wonderful. And I will say for myself, seeing these, I did turn me on to City a good bit.
Yeah, dude, these are, just like the castle ones we've shown and the space ones. We draw from, or we pull content from these little booklets and the magazines because, that was our childhood. This is what inspired. That's why we're sitting here right now, right? So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, seeing these little images again, I poured over these a lot, but you always find something new because your brain can't retain all of what's going on all the time here. So yeah, every time you look at these, just the amount of little trees, pine trees they went and put next to the roads down there, or the tram going across the water. You don't really see that in the set, stuff like that, where you get the cargo ship going under the bridge. Man, it's so cool.
Yeah, they literally create the entire environment for you. I was drawn to these, and I will give you a reason why. I was born in Indiana, so Midwest. Midwest kid from the north.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
snow, very cold, very drab, cornfields everywhere. So as a kid, I was thinking of bigger, more colorful places, right?
Yeah.
And the ocean was one of my one of the things that drew me out.
Sure. Yeah.
So I like the boats, I like the port, I like the that whole vibe. So when Lego Town did this,
mm-hmm.
I was hooked.
Yeah. Well, and to play off of that a little bit, how you talked about how you like the ports and the boats and things like that. For me, I like a consistent modular type of theme, right? So when Town broke these things into, here's your cars and construction vehicles, and here's your Octane and all of their different gas trucks and stations, and then it's and here's your port, that. Right? Yeah, we'll have to get into that at some point. But it's a consistent here's another chunk that you can collect all 5 or 8 sets, and it adds this new thing to an already existing phenomenal Town layout.
Yeah.
And there's consistency between the minifigs. You get some from different sets showing up in the different ones and stuff like that. They're all yellow. Dude, it's nice, man. It's fun to see. And Lego still carries that tradition on slightly in some of their Lego Town sets still, where they'll come out with a group of different sets. But it feels a little bit more scattered and a little bit more all over the place now than it did back in the day, where it was just a consistency that I really, really appreciate.
So technically, the Nautica theme only had 5 sets in it.
Right, okay. Right. They're all shown right down here, right on the left.
Yeah, right down there. They're shown listed under the Nautica in the 1992 catalog. However, they did come out the year before in 91.
What's interesting is there's a police station listed as one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you may hear some rain in the background, guys, of my camera. Just if you do, it's been raining here for 24 hours or more. So just in case you hear some random noises in the background of my audio, that's what you're hearing. Just a monsoon.
Okay. We're all right, Jason. Let's get through some of these comments here. Alternate candidate. Let's start right here. Big fan of the Piranha Plant for sure. Would liked it to be $10 cheaper.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You might as well say $50 cheaper. 10 is like a pack of cigarettes. That's nothing.
Yeah. Right? You could also just say that for for every Lego set too.
Right.
Like I do agree though. Yeah, let's have it
Sure.
$10-15 cheaper. For sure.
Alternate candidate, he's saying, I'm liking the format. Thank you. Appreciate it. Lego Den is mentioning the that gas station is the best Lego ever did. Just saying, go town. He's talking about the dual roofed octane gas station.
He's not
Loves
wrong.
that. Yeah, he's not wrong.
I wasn't a town fan when I was
had
little,
that set,
but I wanted that. Yeah,
no, I had it, and I had two. I had two of the octane gas transit, which is the little semi below it.
Dude, yes.
The build of that semi was like next level.
That's so cool.
I loved that little semi.
I do like how, it's a little
So
different
great.
with the little drop down angle pieces down below and everything. That's really nice.
Next level, man. I love that little set. And the gas station, you had to have the gas station, and it's featured right there in the cityscape in the 1992 mini book. Love it. It's just nestled down in there next to the bay.
Yeah, no, it's perfect with little trees around it. Dude, I want to live there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You know, like it's actually, I kind of do. This does look kind of like the Pacific Northwest down here in this bottom panel.
oh, look at this. Luis.
Yeah.
Rosario. That little car with the surfboard was one of my very first sets. The
nice.
Beach Bandit. Everybody had the Beach Bandit, man.
Beach Bandit was classic.
Classic set, yeah. With the
cool.
typical yellow leg, yellow arm, black shirt, black hair, black sunglasses. That guy was like a grease monkey on a surfboard.
He was the stud of the Lego City line.
He was the first stud.
What a Chad. Yeah, that's funny.
Brickspace 9, the 1991 European catalog had an awesome Nautica diorama at 2.
Oh, I'd love to find that.
Yeah, I mean, was it much different?
Sometimes they were really different. The European catalogs sometimes would set up a whole nother, because sometimes they would share images, but there's been a couple that I've run across online, and I'm like, where did this come from? And it's a whole its own setup. So yeah.
Beach Bandit wearing a mankini. Yep, exactly. Yeah. What he was wearing.
Dude.
Pretty wild. Well, let's jump into these sets and talk about them. I did add the 5 Nautica sets as well as a few others that used the Pier base plate. And then a few other boats. So
yeah, because see, in my mind, anything that was built, well, not anything, but a lot of the sets that continued the use of the pier from those 2 cargo ship sets on into their building, I kind of just categorize as Nautica as well.
Well, me as well, and that's why I included a few more to fill this out and just to talk about them, because there were some of them were some of my faves for sure. All right, so first we've got my favorite 2 boats of all time, the Coastal Cutter and the Dark Shark.
Dark Shark, okay. Both of those. Man, okay, Coastal Cutter might be one of my favorite, if not my favorite ships in Lego City. And then I just love that the Dark Shark is a reference to the pirate crew from Pirates. So you've got 2 good things going right here, just right off the top.
Wonderful. And something else too that I'll point out. This Dark Shark has like a sister boat. I think it's called the Wave Runner. It's in the boats that float, which we're going to talk about next week. But it's very similar. Yeah. Color scheme, build, size. No.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's already on the list to talk about next week. But I will say, of these 2 boats, obviously the Coastal Cutter is my favorite. I had this boat. I loved this boat. I needed everything else in the Seaport after I got this boat. This was the first set I got in the Nautica theme.
It's the gateway set, bro.
Yeah, it was. It was the gateway set.
Opens your mind up. You're like, no. And then look at this. Look at this. Both of these, the cranes silhouetted in the background.
Yep.
Just like, wait a minute. There's a world this belongs to. Let me get in on that. Yeah.
And they are the 2 cranes from the 2 Seaport pieces.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Also, these are one of your favorite boat builds with the angular nose pieces stacked in a succession along the front of both of these boats.
Yep.
You know what's fun is the little motorboats they build along with these.
Yep.
Mirror that look very well with the little 4x piece. It's really not the same piece.
No.
But it looks perfect alongside those parts. So I really like that.
The cool thing about the coastal cutter is that it's got a little hook winch that you can pull that little jet boat up inside the back of it and just take it along with you.
So like, yeah, you could rescue him and take the boat with him. I like also that these have little cabins built down inside of them.
Yep.
At least the coastal cutter one does.
Yeah, the coastal cutter does. Yeah.
But it also has the pilot area up top where you actually drive it. So yeah, no, it's a great boat. I think I have it. I don't know for sure.
It's a great boat.
But if I don't, I really want it.
Well, I don't have it now, but I did in my original collection as a kid. I had this boat.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember.
Let's see here. Brickspace 9 is saying that the Dark Shark was also the UK name, Black Seas Barracuda.
Right. So that's what I meant when I said it was a reference to the Lego Pirates. There's the Dark Shark crew also, I think, mentioned in the Lego Pirates what are they called? The comics. They had a whole series of radio dramas and comics, and Bricking Up Brad actually draws a lot of his information when he's doing his deep dives into those themes. So I think he mentions that in his videos too. So, but yeah, you're right. It is the name of Black Sea Barracuda, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty awesome. All right. So we had a couple of comments on the police being in a sub theme, but I mean, how could it not be when it's on a pier?
Yeah.
Right. It's got a pier base. It's basically just the Seaport unit.
Yeah. I mean, no, this works for me. What's cool about it is, it takes a little slice of city, right? So you got the Coast Guard, because I think there's a couple Coast Guard sets outside of this theme.
Yep.
And then you got a police set that landed in Nautica as well, which is kind of fun. So yeah, I think it's fine, especially since it's not city police in the sense that it's built for policing the shoreline and probably in cooperation with the coastal cutter, right? I could see the coastal cutter probably docked here a couple times or something like that, right? So
probably,
it makes a lot of sense to me that it would be in this theme, because it is, like you said, it's on the water. It's built on one of those.
Yeah, a couple things to point out here, and Lego Den has already mentioned it in the comments before I even got to it. So early on, they used to do the little windshield on the police bikes.
Yeah,
it's on this set.
That's awesome. I just see that now. Yeah,
it's awesome because those were few and far between.
Yeah,
there was not very many of those.
I have one or two, but yeah, I don't have a whole lot.
But yeah, he was pointing it out. The window on the visor police bike, though, never seen that too often in land sets, which is actually quite true.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
Yeah. So this set is just kind of all around cool. Number one, you get the base, the pier base with the ramp.
Yeah.
You get the 6-stud wide boat front, which I love. You get the little mini jet boat. You get a couple of police guys. They've got the same setup and bumpers on the pier as they do on the seaports.
Yeah, I love that.
Right. So that's all very has a lot of continuity to it across the board.
Exactly.
Right. And then you get a great little motorcycle, and you get this cute little, I don't know, looks like a big tow car.
Like the chief's car or something, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I mean, all that, and I mean, you get all the features of the pier. It's fantastic. I love it.
Well, and I like how you mentioned that it was designed so consistently with the pier and the cargo docks with those bumpers, because those are actually accurate. They would have rubber strips or bumpers hanging down to make sure the ships didn't just smash into the sides. That this set is meant to go next to the two large cargo ports, because this is the security at the ports. So it isn't an inner city police station. It's on the coast, and it literally fits in even aesthetically with the other two large pier sets. So I love that about this set. And I also want to mention, go ahead.
Something cool too is it has the angled windows, and somebody, I forget who it was, maybe it was Lego Den, that pointed out on the gas station, those angled windows, they turn open.
Yes. Yeah. They
So
hinge in the middle.
Yeah, they hinge in the middle, and you can have like a breeze through.
Yeah, like little skylights. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
this
really
is
fun.
interesting. This is interesting here. Brickspace 9. One of the motorcycle windshields came in a minifig pack.
Oh, that
So
kind of
that's
rings a
cool.
bell. Yeah, I wonder if it was the police one or a plain one, because they did have plain ones as well, I think.
Jose coming in with $425 new on Bricklink.
I have this set used actually,
It's like
so
30 or 40
probably.
bucks when it came out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, actually, probably around 40 bucks, I would guess.
Yeah, I didn't pull prices, but
No.
if I'm guessing, about 30, 40 bucks probably.
I love the printed life ring.
Yeah,
right behind the car there.
Yeah,
that's the one piece I'm actually missing from this set.
That is like the standard sign for the pier stuff.
Yeah,
it's that with the little raft, the little what do they call that? Safety ring?
Safety ring, life ring. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it could actually represent a physical life ring for the Lego people. Or it could be a logo. I think it's probably a life ring, though, because the police have their police logo on their building and their ships, and everyone has their own stuff. But I like it because, like, in the Paradisa sets, it was the crabs. They represented the little crabs on a 1x1 or a 2x2 circle tile, just like that. So, yeah, that's kind of how they did things back then.
Yeah, Jose said this was 44 back in the day.
You're right on the money there. Well, real
All right,
close.
now this is something I would have done. Lego Den said, I used to close the windows and the garage doors every night before bed as a kid.
Dude,
you got to make sure everybody's ready for bed.
You gotta do it, man. Shut down the town. Get all the little doors.
He was shutting down the town, and I was making sure that Magistos dragons were in their cages, and the horses were in the stable.
Make sure the boats are bumped up and tied off.
Make sure the boats are tied off at the docks. Right.
I mean, that's how kids play. Like that totally makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's full on play.
Yeah.
So overall, awesome set. 10 out of 10 on this one. I wouldn't change anything about it.
Absolutely. I'm with you there. Oh yeah, dude. These
Intercoastal Seaport.
And let me check. I'm trying to think if this is I believe this. I have one of these. I can't remember if it's this one or the other one.
Well, I mean, it's either a yellow crane or a red crane, Jason.
I think it's this one. I'm not gonna, dude, it's been a while. I have one of these sets, but anyway, these are the best.
They are.
I love these so much, dude.
And you get several of the pier pieces.
Yeah.
In these seaports.
What I love,
they're just like clipped together, like with like a plate or a one brick version or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then you got your extensions off of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so great. So
yeah,
great.
no, I mean, it's perfect.
What are they carrying? There's a motorcycle and it looks like a little lawnmower.
Yeah, that's a tractor.
Or a tractor.
Broken down. So like when
broken
you bought
down,
the
so
set,
it's in the crate.
It would show, I believe it showed you how to build it, but then how to package it and crate it and put it on the ship. That's what's so cool about this set, dude. Like, yeah, it's got city, like things that go to the city being shipped in and unloaded on this cargo port. Like, man, it's perfect. It's everything you want for a Lego City expansion, sub-theme. Yeah.
Jose always wanted this as a kid. This is a cool one for sure. Alternate candidate. The budget version.
Yeah, because there's a bigger one.
Yeah, there's a bigger one.
Yeah, I think this is. I'm quite sure this is the one I have. So
collector Pier Police looks like it would be cheap to part together. Probably would. I'm not sure what those dock pieces are going for.
The dock pieces aren't bad. I did a Star Wars build with them, and someone built that, and I think they were pretty reasonably priced, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can never have too many cargo containers.
No, dude.
Should have them stacked up on the dock.
Yep. You can. Yeah.
That's what you should do. That's what I'm saying. A real shipyard got like a football fields of containers and things stacked up all the time.
Yeah. And what's fun about this is they've created a system you can now replicate. So you can build another 5 or 6 of these little cargo containers in different colors and put whatever you want in them.
Yeah, literally anything.
I mean, how would I'd love, yeah, a black one with 5 or 6 barrels of octane gas, right?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That in there, you know, like, yeah, you could just continue the consistency through these themes and expand it. That's giving you the tools to do that right here.
And let's be honest, this boat is not a very big boat.
No,
a cargo ship. There are bigger ones.
Right.
Right. So you could make bigger containers as well.
Right. Yeah, and you could probably fit 2. That's about max capacity for this ship.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, those little the little cargo ship. It's not called a cockpit. It's the cabin, I guess. The top there, those cool like window pieces. I really like that part as well.
Yeah, it's very accurate.
Yeah, as well as the water level marker on the side there.
Yep, that's accurate as well.
It's great. It's really cool.
This ship is called Diana.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there's a sticker on it. It says Diana.
Oh, it's right there in front of my eyes. Yeah. It is on my phone, so it's like this big. That's cool though. I love. Yeah, so they even named the ships. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Let's see. Jose is saying 600 new on Bricklink, $65 in 1991.
Gotta love it.
Yep. Minifig Collector is saying, are those wall panels? On which there's nothing on here big enough to be a wall panel, but there if you're talking about the sides of the containers, those are considered panels, and those are the 3 high.
Yeah, the 3 high little panels.
3 bricks high. If you're talking about the windows, those are 2 high, and they're just the inverted, 2x4 window pane.
And they're built on about, looks like 3 or 4 bricks high.
Yeah, 3 or 4 bricks high underneath. Yeah. So I'm not sure which part you were talking about, but hopefully that answers your question.
I assume the cargo build is probably what it was talking about.
Yeah, those are the 3x4 by 1 panels. Yes. And then here's the big one.
Oh boy.
Launch definitely. Seaport.
I definitely have the other one. I've got the yellow crane because I do not have this set.
Now, again, notice on this one, you can see clearly that you've got the same pier, bumpers and railing handles, the tie-offs. Everything is the same as the Pier Police. So these are definitely meant to sit next to each other on a
for sure. For sure. And just like the one we just looked at, you have kind of like Dock 1 and Dock 2 sort of.
Yeah, they're numbered.
Stickers numbered on there. Look at this. They got the pilot boat here. How cool is that?
It's awesome.
It guides the cargo ships into the dock. Like, dude, it's just the level of, it's not even like detail. It's the level of intelligence it took to design this.
I mean, it's literally like impressive. A couple gray base plates with some builds on it, and that's it. Nothing over the top. But
it's the knowledge about the port.
But it is over the top at the same time.
Exactly. Well, and you know what I really appreciate and never really considered or looked at too much is this is a completely different crane build. It's the rail crane with the specialized arm grabber piece that can slide across and underneath. Totally. Yeah, look at that. Totally different crane design.
Totally different crane design.
So again, that just makes it even cooler because then you can get 2 different versions, of cranes here.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like there's is that a dragster race car engine in that crate?
Yeah, sure is.
That's so cool. And then what's cool about this also is this larger set has the logo with the little global shipping logo on it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
I love that. And it comes, it's on the semis. It's on the semi containers because those are containers on that semi that come off.
Yes. Yeah. So those can all stack up on the ship. Yeah. But it looks like just like in real life, it just looks like a standard truck, a semi truck, because that's what you do. And you got the little harbor master over there too. Check him out, little guy in his little security outfit next to the little tiny building on the port there.
Yeah, that would have probably been the police station. The Pier Police would have probably been connected over there somewhere on that side there.
exactly. And then a nice little forklift there, which is great as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Minifig Collector said, yeah, I was talking about the cargo containers.
Got it. Yeah.
Lego Dan, this is the first time I've seen both of you guys excited about town.
I don't know. I feel like I guess this is more town than divers. That is fair.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to town. Okay.
No.
I'm not opposed to it. However, I don't have $40,000 to buy every single modular city to catch up with everybody else. Like if we're talking about the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s town sets. Oh, I'd love to build a big old giant town of all the classics. I love the classics. Sure. They're definitely my faves.
No, and yeah, there's something about these because there are a specialty theme inside town. So there's something about this that really draws my attention. Yeah, it's got a, I don't know, it's hard to describe. It's kind of like a castle set in a way where it's like, oh, this castle you get these guys and this cool thing, but if you get this other castle, you're gonna get the other style or whatever it is, right? So it's like oh, you got to collect all of these and make this phenomenal seaport, right? So yeah, it's very exciting stuff.
Oh man, we got a couple comments I have to mention. Minifig Collector, how would you connect the dock to your town? Depends on how you build your town. Are you using base plates or are you using like the Mills technique that a lot of people are using now, where it's like a brick and 2 plates high or something like this? Mm-hmm. I mean, I would say just run the port up next to it and figure out how to clip it on. Figure out where you want your bay to be, your water outlet.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. You could probably do a road that runs next to this port too, that has a ramp up on the left and it goes around a corner and ramp down, and then maybe build some little port side stores and hotels and things along on the other side of the road to fill in against that raised 2 to 3 bricks high on this port.
Something too that I want to mention. Somebody who recently had done it was Chorange Bricks. If you look at his Instagram, he's building roads the proper way. Okay. For towns, those new road plates that they're like clipped together with like tiles and whatnot. Yeah. First off, they're not wide enough. They're terrible. They're terrible. I can't even believe people are actually using them. But what he did is he built them like a snot technique. So the bricks are sideways, and then you can put like a single yellow plate in there to create an accurate size dotted line or outside lines or however you want to do it, and you can make it as wide or as thin as you want.
So he's building them in a sideways technique. Well, and if you're going to go that direction, that's only if you put that type of style of built road next to something like this, that only gives you almost barely a brick to step down onto that road. So it wouldn't be hard to mesh the port right up next to that.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't even be difficult at all.
Another way you could do it before we move on from that is build your terrain so that it's high enough that the land slopes down into the water and the ports are built off of that terrain, so they're almost level with what's up above, right? Yeah. So then the water just goes down, or the land goes down to the water. So
Brickspace 9, keep it simple and include the essentials. Yes, that's what this set is all about.
What they knew. Yeah, that's what they were all. Exactly.
Now Peter N said, I saw 6542, which is this set, in its box on a garbage pile in the streets of New York, in the streets of Flushing, New York. Ship was sticking out through the torn package. I desperately wanted to dive into the trash and retrieve it, but the smell. He said, should I have dumpster dived for this set? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you should have got it, wiped it down, cleaned it, let it sit in alcohol overnight, something.
Yep. Even if the stickers were ruined, it doesn't matter. It's worth it.
Yeah, this is a gem of a set right here.
Yeah, no, I have seen Lego in a dumpster and I've grabbed it myself. So, people don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they got. They throw it away. It was a kid's thing, whatever it is. Yeah, dude, that would haunt me as well. I'm sorry you didn't grab it. Absolutely, yeah. Smells bad, but them Lego pieces gonna last forever. So. I mean, it probably wasn't complete, but even then, you're going to get some really great stuff out of that, probably.
Right. Brickspace 9, can't let everyone enter their truck into the harbor. Yeah, just fence it off. Create a gate. There's a
Well,
gate.
someone mentioned in the comments that there's a ramp, so you don't really. I think the ramp allows you to kind of build base plate, like road height up to it.
Right.
So
Yeah. Nothing wrong with dumpster diving for a flagship set. Yeah, I think everyone would agree with that.
yeah, I think we're all on your side there with jumping in that dumpster for it for sure.
He said this was years ago, but he'll remember for the next one. Yeah, I would. Don't let something. I mean, that's like finding a raised base plate from a medieval castle at like Goodwill for $1. Like that's the equivalent right there. Okay,
That's what I did. Remember?
I know you.
That's
did
why
that.
you brought it up.
Yeah,
I stopped rubbing that in your face a while ago, but yeah, that was dude. Yeah, it is. It's like what? How did this happen?
Right. All right, so we got just a few more sets here. I've added these. They're not technically part of the Nautica theme, but they are boats that are built 6 studs wide in the same format as these ships, the Coastal Cutter, etc. And they're on the piers. So
yes,
let's jump in here to these boats.
Pleasure Cruiser. That came straight from Paradisa. You know that.
Yeah, but it's not technically a Paradisa set. It's
no,
just
but
town.
that's where it's taking you.
Yeah.
That's you jump on Pleasure Cruiser headed to the little lighthouse in Paradisa to hang out with the babes.
Love this little boat. It's basically the same build as the Coastal Cutter, the Dark Shark, the little pilot boat.
Yeah,
I love them. So the Sandy Point Marina value pack included the Pleasure Cruiser.
Oh, okay.
The Pleasure Cruiser was also sold as a separate set. So that's cool too. And then you've got
that is really cool.
Yeah, the Coastal Patrol, which is basically a police version of the Coastal Cutter with a light box.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
It's just a little bit longer, but it's got the little spot in the back where you can ramp the boat up in there. I like the fact that it's black and blue. The little mini boat is black.
That looks like a bad guy's boat. Yeah. Little criminal boat, maybe.
Or a super cool special ops police boat.
Maybe. It could be. It could be an undercover. Yeah. See, again, I'm connecting all this stuff in my head. So, like, I see the Pleasure Cruiser kind of sailing off into wherever the coast of the Paradisa land. I see that little black and white boat going to hang out with the guys in, what was that, like, lagoon with the little rope bridge and the alligator and all the gangsters hanging out with their suitcases?
Yeah.
I can see that driving up into that area, hanging out with Midnight Flyer and all those weird Lego sets where they're running around with suitcases full of gold.
Yeah,
it looks like he's probably in cahoots with those guys or undercover.
Notice how the backgrounds changed. So we went from Seaport and Nautica, to palm trees and just coastline, general coastline.
More of a Florida vibe.
Yeah, just like a cool laid back, coastal vibe. It's kind of cool.
I like it.
Nautica, 1991, and then we skip ahead. There was no major boats in between 92 and 94. 94 was the next set of boats that came out, which is these.
Okay.
And then
was
in 94 we jump up to the Sail and Fly Marina, which also, again, little mini jet boat, brick built boats with the 6 stud wide, same piece used, double stacked, two of them in this set.
Yeah.
You got a pier piece in there. You got a little crane that's similar to the crane on the Intercoastal Seaport, just the top part.
Yep. That crane is for lifting cargo, but it's also for lifting the boats onto dry dock, which is pretty phenomenal.
It's a dry dock, or you can change the motor in a boat, or so many things.
And and they included that. Yeah, you can open the boats, and there's a motor on the dock, and there's a crane that will lift it in, and you can change the motors out on the boats and everything. Like, again, the details they put into these little sets, and it's the knowledge, right? It's the intelligence to put those in, as opposed to just here's a dock with a cafe on it. It's cool.
Yeah, super cool. Loaded with octane. Everything's octane gas, so that's
everything's
cool.
Powered by that.
But again, I love these boats. I mean, I think that the Dark Shark from 91 would be racing against these two boats.
Oh, 100%.
They're all very similar. They're very similar builds.
You know what else other set I like that's a little later than this one, but works really well with it is there's a little Coast Guard, like tiny little set with like 3 jet skis racing and a little palm tree. And it goes really well. I've got both of these sets. I got that one, the Sail and Fly Marina, and this little Coast Guard one. And yeah, they go really well together. I think it works really well. And you get those jet skis, then you can park the little jet skis on the docks as well and stuff. So,
which is great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
again, I thought that this was a great addition to this talk, even though it wasn't technically Nautica.
It is built on a couple of those dock pieces still.
Yeah, it's got the dock piece with the ramp over there in the back corner where the Octane van is.
Yep, he's unloading the Octane. There's no I wonder, is this before the rival fuel company? Because there's the black and red and yellow barrels of oil that show up later in town. And there's an actual rival like gas company basically. But Octane has always been the winner. Like they always show up more than the other one.
In Octane, there was a battle between Shell and Octane early on.
Yeah.
Everything used to be Shell.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Like originally, like you were buying Shell race cars and
and they have like a Shell convenience store and like a Shell gas station set. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. The sign artwork though. Yeah.
Yep,
this was from the same era. Lego Den, for your information, I did create the club sign from the Hot Rod set, which came out the same year as this, and this is technically the Yacht Club sign on this set. I never created the art for this because the Hot Rod one didn't sell.
Which is kind of a bummer. That would have been fun though to have both, huh?
Yeah,
like to have both those signs up would be really cool, fun.
Yeah.
This is a fun set. It's one of my favorite sets that I have. I mean, it's
a great set.
It's so good. Again, we got those little windows up there. Although I think I think those are similar to the ones on the ships.
I think so. Different. I'm not 100%. I don't have this set. I never have had it either.
Yeah.
But
it's a big set too. It's weird because it's
a weird set.
It's so much there. Like it's quite a large set for the time. And it even comes with like an airplane. You don't need the airplane, but they threw it in there. Like cafe. Like it's got some cool building techniques. Like the table on the little circular table in the cafe is actually a Technic disc, which is weird. Like because there's no studs on it, so you can't actually put a cup on it. It's just a smooth Technic disc, but it offsets the size of the umbrella and everything. It looks really great. It's just a very interesting way they decided to design the table there.
Lego Den did order 2 of those club signs, the Hot Rod Club. Yeah, he did.
Well, there you go. He was your guy there.
Yeah, on that one for sure.
He probably wants this one now.
Maybe I'll make it.
Yeah.
And this is the last set that I added here for discussion in the Nautica theme. This is not part of Nautica theme, but again, Pier Bumper. The only thing that's different is the color of the tie-off is red instead of yellow. Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
Otherwise, same basic parts used. Simple build. Windows. I mean, it's literally like Pier Police, but Coast Guard.
It's the same.
So this is where the coastal cutter would refuel and.
Yeah. It's the same shape. A little different, but very similar to the same shape of the build and even the dock coming off the front or onto that side of it and everything like that. That's really cool. Yeah, no, I love this set. I'd like to get a hold of this one at some point. A little helicopter pad down below. That's kind of fun.
Nice.
Looks like a little.
Yeah, I mean, if you could have all of the sets that we just talked about, you would have quite the Seaport area. You'd have a bustling bay.
And that's what's fun about it because you don't need the rest of town if you had all of those sets. You could just have the pier as a whole theme laid out on a nice little display. It takes up a really nice, it fills the space in really well once you start letting those out next to each other. So totally phenomenal sub theme of Lego City or Lego Town. Dude, the minifigs in this set are really cool too. That little Coast Guard captain guy and all that.
Yeah, they got a little Coast Guard jackets on.
Yeah, those are fun. Little light gray Coast Guard jackets. I like it.
Yeah. Brick
No,
Space 9 is pointing out the dolphin. Yep.
Oh, dude, yeah. Yeah, seeing the dolphin. It's fun to see that the dolphin made it into Paradisa and divers as well as this set here.
Yeah, and Jose is like, and have Paradisa next door.
Yeah, this is a perfect transition to those, actually.
Yeah.
Because it's got the
Agreed.
dolphin and the palm tree, and then you could start building off. Because there's the lighthouse in Paradisa, which would actually work pretty well in this theme. And then a bunch of coastal beaches and things like that you could start building in next to your big. So you go from the industrial to more of the vacation style.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of other little sets in town around this area. You know, like the Surf Shack, which was a good company to the Beach Bandit.
Yeah,
and there was several little ones that you could include in your
a lot of little motorboat.
Yeah, your beach setup. Yeah, there's all kinds of little boats,
jet skis and motorboats and stuff. Yeah.
And stuff. Somebody pointed out one of them, the Hydro Racer.
Okay, yeah.
The Hydro Racer was a little jet ski that had like that piece that's on this boat, right below that windshield, and then it had like the three colors on each side and the back. That was the Hydro Racer. I don't have a picture of it handy.
Yeah. So a lot of, I mean, even what was that Dune one? There was a little Dune buggy type one. I can't remember the name of that one, but we brought it up a couple times. That would work well for this as well.
Yeah.
Little car parked at the dock or whatever.
So just a few other things I wanted to mention on Brick Monarch Shop. We are running a t-shirt sale through the 1st of October.
Nice.
I believe it's 30% off on all t-shirts. We also have open pre-order for any signs that you want to get for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
I'm not holding stock on those. We are literally going to a produce to order on that, and we have to do a 2 or 3 month period. That way I can collect and then produce and ship out and make sure everybody gets what they want. So if anybody wants any of the Brick Monarch wall signs, get your order in. I think by November 15th, I think is the last day. And those will be guaranteed by Christmas.
Nice. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, guys. Make sure to like the video, drop a follow if you want to get more updates on what's coming out next, or follow us on Instagram. We drop the notifications for these live streams every week. So, that was part 2. So next week we're going to be covering the floating boats.
Yeah, the floating boats, and those go all the way back to like 85, I think,
right?
Or 86.
What's crazy about those ones is they had some floating boats that were sectional that you could put together, and they actually still float.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
the first ones were sectional, yes.
Yeah.
And then there was a second wave, and then there was a third wave. There's only like 9 to 12 of the floating boats, but there's a lot of reference that comes back to Nautica, and then again to divers.
Okay.
And I'll show you and explain all that in next week's video. I've pretty much got all the content ready to go for that.
Oh, perfect.
Because I was taking a deep dive into it. But
a
lot of very cool catalog images.
Okay, yeah. It's a fun one to dig into. And Lego City or Lego Town from this time era, mid 90s, dig into. They even have some cool posters. There's a couple different posters that came out during this time of just the Lego City stuff. And so, like you said, lots of really good images to look at. Definitely, Google some of that stuff if you want to pore over them more. Because it's just a joy to look at and just kind of soak in, kind of like we did at the beginning there with those images. So, man, no, this has been a super fun sub theme to cover. I'm glad you brought this up because
I love it. I mean, I love all these boats and pier pieces, man. It's phenomenal.
It is, and it's underrated. Like you said, you were kind of surprised how there were several people that were like, I don't even know what's Nautica, or I have never seen these sets ever, so it's good to expose them to people and let people realize what a vast wealth of interesting things Lego has had over the last 50 years, right? So it's been a blast, dude.
Yeah, I love this theme. And I like the divers, the boats, and again, before we close off here, all the boats that were shown in divers could easily pull up in this harbor where the seaports are. I mean, again, this is all can be all encompassing for these three.
Yeah, because they're built. A lot of them are built, or all of them are built in the same style.
Yeah, same style builds.
The nose pieces like that stacked up. So yeah,
and
you're right.
In one of the boat catalogs from the 90s, there are divers diving,
really?
and it shows them diving down under the water. It's actually in real water. The photo. So you've got the boats on top floating, and there's divers underneath doing. I think it's police divers or something like that.
Sure,
but
that does ring a bell. I feel like I've seen that.
It's still very, very cool. And I mean, you see it and you can build it. You build it yourself in your head, and then come up with a couple $1,000s to collect all the sets.
Yeah, right. Collect all the sets, and then another couple thousand to build the terrain to link all the different themes together. Thanks, Peter N. Another awesome talk. We appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoy it. Yeah. Brick Space 9. Now I want to build my Lego Harbor. Same, dude. I would absolutely love to
get it.
Pull out these things and start putting them together again at some point. Last note on set 6541, the one you have behind you there. The copy that I have, the hook that's clipped onto that boat is a metal hook. It's not plastic.
Oh, very nice.
It's an actual metal piece. So I just thought that was kind of fun to it's an interesting observation. They make the black ones. No, they're both metal. They're not black. They're like a metal piece. But it is a Lego piece because it's designed in the same way where you tie it up and everything like that, and it's in the instructions like that. So I don't know if they switched them out or if it just looks black in the picture.
Maybe they just wanted it to look and feel more heavy duty.
Yeah, it does. Well, and I think also the weight, because when you roll them up and down, the weight without a cargo piece on it will still allow the crane to come up and down. With a plastic hook, it might get caught in the wheels and stuff. So,
yeah, agreed. Okay, yeah, so that may be why they made them metal.
I think it was, yeah. So, and it's really cool. So
that would make sense.
Just a fun little history fact, I guess, about those ones. So,
alternate candidate, these streams are definitely a highlight of the week for me, which is great. I'm glad.
Dude, that's awesome. That's kind of the whole point, I mean, the 2 points, I guess, are the real reason we do this is an excuse to sit down and just talk about Lego for you and I.
Yeah, so that we can keep our sanity because our lives are
in this crazy world. But also to, create a space for people to come and do the same, really. Sit down and just enjoy a talk that has nothing to do with any of the other craziness and enjoy that. And I've heard from a lot of different people similar things, that they really enjoy this. They love the format. It's not the same as other Lego streams where people are just building and not talking. Right. And we've got like a kind of a system here. So I'm glad that people are appreciating that, and we're going to keep doing it. So
Lady Brick showed up just enough time for us to close off.
Hey, good to see you. And
Lego did. I'm just grateful you aren't doing speed builds. Yeah, no, we I was doing some speed building on my castle to show videos, and I was bored myself rewatching them, so I stopped making them.
Yeah. I did a couple showcase videos, but I did it all stop motion, so the set built itself in front of your eyes, and then I would do display all the features. But I don't think I would do a speed build. I've seen too many to know that I'm not interested in.
Yeah, I mean, what a waste of time to even record that.
I don't know. I mean, some people, it feels that way to a certain extent. So I usually, if there's a review that includes a speed build, I will usually kind of skip the speed build part and listen to some of what they have to say after the fact, right?
That's what I do. So one other comment, alternate candidate. I'm just going to pull their comment back up. Notice they've got Magisto as their
I see that.
Their icon, their profile icon. Must be getting ready for that Magisto GWP. So I'm hoping to get those images soon, because after next week's boats, we're jumping over to talk about Intense Brick's castle. And he's going to join us live.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I am too. I'm very excited for that. And I'm hoping that the following week we have images of the Magisto's GWP. And if we do, we will then talk about Dragon Masters and include that. So very exciting stuff coming.
Yeah, I'm hoping that random pirate build GWT didn't replace the Magisto one. If that's the case, we're getting our pitchforks and we're going out.
Oh, dude, no.
We're gonna raid Lego HQ. Alternate candidate says he skips the speed build parts too.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited for the GWP Magisto. It better be happening. It's still technically a rumor, but it's been confirmed by everybody basically. So
and it better not be the magic shop. It needs to be a workshop.
No, it's got to be the workshop, dude. Yeah, those are the little stump. They come out with like a little stump and a ghost, and they don't include the Dragon Master.
No.
We'll see. We'll see. All right, man. Well, that's been another episode of Let's Talk About Lego. That was part 2 of our Harbor series. We've called it literally everything different every week, but a Harbor series isn't a bad name. Let's call it that.
All right.
Let's see if we can remember next
now
week.
Now that we're 2/3 done, we'll pick a name for it.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, let's see if we can remember if we called it that this week when we do our last part.
Yep.
What was it called again?
Something.
All right, man.
Anyway, y'all have a good night. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Take it easy, Andrew. Have a good night, everyone.
You as well.